Right. Well, my name is Marvin Virch. I'm with the Bureau of Professional Licensure, and I'm going to kind of cover the side. I work with the Board of Social Work, along with 18 other boards. We have 19 boards in our bureau that we work with. Right now, that's a little over 52,000 active licensees and about 80,000 inactive licensees. So we keep pretty busy. And what I'm going to focus my presentation on is how to become licensed, and then we're also going to kind of talk, Denise is from the association, and how we work together. We have differing roles. And so that's kind of what we're going to focus on. I've just kind of titled this, you know, the good, bad, and ugly of licensure, because some of those licensure requirements, they're just things you have to do. You know, there's things in life you just have to do, you know, and like, you know, renew your driver's license every 5 years. Otherwise, that causes problems. So some of the stuff's just not fun. So I'm going to skip through this because our time frame is a little shorter than our last session. So, and there's an ethical component here, but I'm going to let Denise kind of cover that in her presentation, and we'll just kind of tag team it. But I do have copies of the presentation if you want one when you leave. So, okay, right here. The Board of Social Work, all the board members are appointed by the governor's office. We don't get to select them. And it has to be based, it has to be gender-based or gender equal and politically equal too. You know, there has to be, you know, so many Democrats and so many Republicans, or no party, if, you know, if they have no party. So, and they try and do it geographically also. And for social work, we also have some additional requirements where there has to be public members. And then also we have to have a bachelor's level social worker that's licensed. Currently that position's open. We have to have a licensed master's level, and then at least one licensed independent. I believe we have 2 now filling that role. So, and so the governor's office provides those, you know, names to us. They appoint them. And then what we do is we go and I do an orientation with them, kind of explain what their role on the board is. Just like the other group, I would encourage you in the future, if you want to serve on the board and you're a licensed individual or a public member, you can contact the governor's office. There's, you know, there's hundreds of boards that you can sign on. We just have 19. I always tell people it's a good experience to go through, just so you can see what it's like, you know, be on the school board or whatever, library board, start something small. Sometimes you survive being on the board, and other times you enjoy being on the board. You know, some boards are a little dysfunctional, so maybe some of your training can help the board be more effective. So. Okay. And let's see. We'll go to the next slide. The main purpose of the Board of Social Work is to protect the public. That's our #1 goal, is to protect the public. We want to make sure that if people are getting services by social workers, that they're safe. And then also the board has to assure that the administrative rules, that the licensees comply with those rules that govern your profession. But probably one of the more important things is they need to make sure that the rules, administrative rules, align with what the current standards are. As you know, life doesn't stay stagnant. Things change. Social work hasn't had this experience as much, but some of our professions, like for example optometry, technology has a big impact to them. And so they've had to revise their rules several times. They're actually looking through some revisions now because of how technology's advanced so quickly, their rules are a little bit out of date. But that's what the board looks at. If the way you provide services has a dramatic shift, the board needs to adopt or address the rules and change them so that they more align with what current standards are. And we work closely with the association to work on that. We get input from the licensees to make sure that they are appropriate. And sometimes when I say we, I'm speaking as the board. I'm just staff. We have no authority. The board has the authority. We just work for the board. So, but they also have to deny licenses from time to time. Now, most of you are undergrads, correct? Okay.
This is the undergrad.
Okay. Now, in Iowa, It's a little quirky, but I understand why they wrote the law this way. But bachelor's level social workers don't have to be licensed. You can voluntarily obtain a license and go through the licensing process and show you have the degree and all that. But you don't have to in Iowa to practice at the bachelor's level. Some organizations require you to be licensed, and so that's part of the reason why there's that volunteer licensure. So, but if you ever want to move from on up to master's level or independent, you know, it just helps you start working up through the channels. So,
it also allows you to get insurance, so you can have liability insurance to protect yourself.
That's
in case there should be any issues that you might have.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's a big component to become a license. So, and it's not a terribly cumbersome process. The rules are pretty well written out, and they're written that way because several years ago every application came to the board. Well, then you'd have board meetings last 2 and 3 days, just going through application after application. The rules are written so that our staff can administer those, and if anything falls outside the rules, it goes to the board, and the board makes the final decision. So it has streamlined. I can't imagine sitting through and going through just application after application after application as a board member.
So that would be 4,000 applications every 2 years for that one board.
Oh yeah, wow. That wouldn't be much fun at all. Benefits of licensure: the public's protected. In case you hadn't noticed, public protection is a big thing in my slides. So here. Professional standards are implemented. The integrity of the profession is protected also. Because if you know, licensure makes sure everyone's practicing kind of within certain parameters. That's important. And then, you know, the patients and customers can trust you if you got that certificate or your wallet card. They can trust you've met some minimum requirement. Unfortunately, the public is very trusting. And they don't always say, hey, are you licensed? No, well, they say they're social workers. They'll trust people. In the first session, I gave the example, several years ago, there was an individual that somehow got hired by a medical clinic and was practicing as a doctor, never went to medical school. Needless to say, he's no longer doing that, and I think he's probably not incarcerated any longer, but he learned the hard way. It levels the playing field within your profession also if you're licensed. You know what you can practice at bachelor's, at master's, and at independent. It defines each level where you can do it. And then it also protects you. Denise gave a great protection that I wasn't aware of, that if you're a licensed bachelor's level, you can get insurance. In this day and age, that's a very important thing. We're a very litigious society, and people will sue people for looking at them for cross-eyed, you know. It's just silly things, you know. Unfortunately, one of the not so fun parts of being on the board of social work is you have to deal with discipline cases. Unfortunately, not everyone believes the rules apply to them. I was certified in law enforcement. Not everybody believed that red octagon was an actual stop sign. It was only a recommendation on the side of the road. And I heard a lot of goofy excuses. I'm thinking, sometimes I'm like, maybe I ought to do a drug test on this person because that one's way out there. But you know, there are, no matter what you do in life, there's some people that are going to do things outside, you know, what is acceptable. And so that's what the board does. The board wants to help you, your profession, address the bad apples, unfortunately. That, you know, it happens. I don't care what profession you're in. There's always somebody that can't seem to follow the rules. And then that puts a black eye on your profession because everybody, that's what the media covers. Look how bad they were. They don't talk about how wonderful the other 3,000 people were. It can benefit your employer because the employer says, oh, they're licensed. They have some level of competency in order to get this license. Common language for job expectations. I mean, if you're a bachelor's level, you can expect everybody else licensed as a bachelor to practice at that same level. And that helps the employer because your employer might not have background in social work. And so it kind of helps them. And then hopefully it gives you greater job satisfaction because you're practicing with like people, they understand what your profession is, and things like that. Benefits to you you work with similar credentialed staff. There's an accountability between you and your employer, because you can say, well, I can do this under my license. Your employer may say, want to restrict you, and say, well, legally I can do this. And hopefully greater job satisfaction. There is a practice chapter in the Board of Social Work. I would encourage you to look at that. It gives some guidelines on how to practice, what expectations when you are practicing. A lot of our licensure boards have that. Like I mentioned before, we have 19 licensure boards. We license from cosmetologists up through physician assistants. 62 different license types, 39 professions. And needless to say, every board is different. None of them, they don't look the same. When I talk to cosmetology board and cosmetology presentations, it's a different presentation than when I present to you folks. So they don't have a practice chapter. I kind of wish they would. But social work does, and I think it's helpful for you as a licensee, because it kind of gives you some guidelines to kind of help, and then the association provides some great educational information that even takes it further. I would look at the practice chapter as kind of the minimum foundation, and then all the other educational stuff you get from the association and the national chapter kind of just built on top of it. So here's a list of, here are the rules. Social work is under Iowa Code Chapter 154C. Essentially what happened was the legislature said the Department of Public Health shall administer the social work board. The governor appoints the board members. We staff the board, and then essentially said that we would come up with a way to license social workers and also discipline social workers. And then the administrative rule chapters, which are below, that provides all the details so that our staff can actually assist the board and operate on their behalf. The board has final decision. Staff, we don't have it. The only thing we can issue a decision on is whether or not you meet the minimum requirements. If you have all your information, staff can issue the license. If something doesn't, if you're wanting to substitute something, it's likely going to have to go to the board. I mean, staff won't make that call. And so one rule is just licensure, tells you what the requirements are and the process to go through. Chapter 281 talks about the continuing education requirements that you have to have. You have to have so many hours, is it 27?
27 hours.
27 hours every 2 years, time you renew. And then 282 is the practice chapter. 283 is discipline. Essentially that's just a kind of a laundry list of what you could possibly be disciplined on. And it lets you know what process you go through. It's just like going to court. You look at the board as judge and jury. They're the judge and jury, and then you come in and you plead your case. They'll have legal counsel that will say, here's what the licensee did wrong. The licensee can come in and say, no, I refute that. They can bring legal counsel. And it's just like a little mini courtroom when you're dealing with complaint.
But it is confidential, right?
But it is confidential. All complaints that our office receives are confidential. For example, if you submit a complaint and you call our office the following day after we've received it, I can tell you exactly what all of our staff's going to say. They're going to say we can either confirm or deny a complaint has been filed. We've trained them all to do that. I do the press for our bureau. Reporters don't like me to say that, but they're like, I know you can't confirm or deny a complaint's been filed. I'm like, well, that's true, because it is confidential. And that's as a protection to you, because we sometimes get frivolous cases where the person just has an axe to grind and there's no merit to it. Well, it wouldn't be fair to you to have it out there in the public that you had a complaint filed against you and nothing comes about. So, we fight that battle with, the press would like everything to be open, but you can imagine in a more rural community, especially, how detrimental that could be to someone, especially if there's no merit to it. Now, once it goes through the whole process and the board has taken action, then we put that public action on our website. And everybody that has, anybody can read that. But that's only if the board believes there's enough evidence, and then there's a hearing process, and you have appeal process. You can appeal the decision and go all the way through district court. So it's equal on both sides. And we have an administrative law judge that comes in and oversees all the hearings to make sure the board's appropriate and everybody's legal rights are taken care of. So it's kind of a complex process to go through in some ways. So I just encourage people, just follow the rules and that won't be a problem. I can skip that one. Statutes and rules are there to assure the public has a safe experience, not necessarily a happy one. I use this one. I started doing this one in our my barber presentation. I'm like, hey, it works for everybody. As you can see, this young man is not enjoying his first haircut, but it's being safely done because you know the barber's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing, and that's really what we want to make sure is that the public is protected and that you're following the guidelines that are acceptable. And that if you step outside those guidelines, the public has recourse. They can actually file a complaint against you and it can go through the process. Now, the complaint process can go something as simple as a letter of education sent to you saying, you know, don't do this again, or a letter of warning. Those are confidential. The public would never know about those. Those are between the board and you. But they could take sanctions against you. They could bring a civil penalty, or they could suspend your license, revoke your license, anything like that. But those are for the more severe cases. One thing I did mention in the first session, and I would be remiss if I didn't this time, is when it comes to relationships with your clients, don't ever do that. Because you're in a position, your clients are vulnerable, and you could take advantage of them. Now, we have in the practice chapter, under the ethics section, that there's a certain time limit, and there's certain criteria. Now, the board's requirements are less stringent than the national ones, so I would default to theirs, because if it's ever been a sexual assault or anything like that, it just should never happen. But if it's more standard therapy sessions, if there is such a thing, it's 5 years, correct?
Right, for you guys.
Yeah.
For the board.
For the board, yes.
Whereas the NASW Code of Ethics would say you really shouldn't ever have a sexual relationship with a client. And both agree on you should never have a professional relationship with somebody who you've had a sexual relationship in the past. Because,
that sounds like common sense, but unfortunately, every year we have unfortunately a significant number of complaints that come into our office, and somebody stepped over the line. It's kind of a silly example, but if someone came into your office for services, and you're like, wow, they're really attractive. That should be like a little bell in your head going, maybe you want at that point to say, you know what, I have another colleague that can assist you that I'd like to refer you to. They don't need to know that you think they're really attractive, but it sounds a little too simplistic, but it may be that simple. Just don't even go down that road. Just, take the higher road. So, we do have our new online website that went live in January, and we did survive. For a few days, it was a little questionable, but we did survive. I'm just glad to see it. It was a couple years of a lot of extra hours for me and other staff. But you can apply online now. You couldn't before. You can renew your license. You can reactivate your license. You can actually request a license verification. And what a license verification would be for is, for example, you get your license here in Iowa, and you move to, Florida. Maybe you don't like our winters. You move to Florida. Well, then you go to get your license down there, and they'll ask just like we would, are you licensed in another state? And you're like, yeah, I'm licensed in Iowa. Then you request a verification. We will send a letter that says you were licensed, when you were licensed, what your current status is, and if any discipline has been brought against you. It's a one-page letter. We send it to them, and they're like, oh, great, they're okay.
Is there a charge for that, Marvin?
It's $25, yeah. And so, and what you do is you go on, you put the information to wherever you want sent to that state entity. Like for example, for us, we require it to come from the other licensing authority. A lot of states do that. A lot of states do require you. You can't like have them sent to you and then you send it in. We want to get it direct. It's because, you know, that way we can assure the letter is not audited or edited in any way. So, but you can also request a duplicate wallet card or duplicate wall certificate. Those are $20. There's a $20 fee. There is a $3 service fee on the website to use the website. We don't get to keep the money. It's just what we have to pay the bank in order to process your credit cards and stuff like that. You can also attach documents to your licensure record. This is a benefit, and I say it's a benefit, that we could never have done it in the past. If you do your continuing ed, you can go and scan it and attach it right to your license record. Because then that way, if you ever get audited, you're like, oh, it's right there. It's all right there. Our audit staff has benefited them already. They had an individual that got selected for an audit. They said, I attached all my stuff on the record. They went in, they looked at it, okay, audit approved. It was that quick. So send the letter, you sending stuff in to us. And you know, I know when I had to have continuing ed in a previous career, never failed, you could get a Con Ed opportunity right after you just renewed your license. So now you got 2 years to hold on to that piece of paper. Oh my goodness, what am I going to do? Now if you can find a scanner, get it in there, and then that way if you do lose it, we at least have a copy of it. The one thing that we haven't read letters, if you ever attach anything on there and you want us to know about it, you need to call us or email us. We don't get an alert when you attach something to your record. We just can't because there's 52,000 licensees. Our staff they would not like me very well if I built that in the system. This is what the website looks like. You can get there, you can either go to our Bureau homepage and there are links to the online website. The banner will look the same on both. Unfortunately, on our Bureau homepage now, the banner is going to be changing. They gave new requirements, and so now it can't be pretty like this one. But I've been told that we can keep this one on the online system because it's on a different area. So cross my fingers. And as you can see, it lists our 19 boards up there too. So I did really good. I think I did a lot of that. I'm trying to think, was there anything I missed?
Yeah, I was interested about, you talked about audits, and how does that happen?
Yeah.
How do people get audited?
When people get audited, when you renew, the minute you hit payment and you've confirmed your payment, if you get selected for an audit, you'll get a nice little window pop up and say, you've been selected for an audit. That's mainly just there to let you know, okay, you need to get your continuing ed documents in order. You can go ahead and attach them, or you're going to be getting a letter from us saying you need to submit copies of them. 3% of every profession, excluding cosmetology, they are only at 1% because there's 22,000 of them. But 3% of every profession every year, every renewal period, gets selected for audits. And the system automatically does it. Now, all social workers are renewing by the end of December, by December 31st of the even year. So this year, we're getting a bunch of them that's going to be renewing right now. And you know, I said that 4,000 number, that was the cosmetology salons. Social worker numbers. No, it is 4,000.
We're over 4,000.
It is 4,000. That's right. Because we have 4,000 social workers getting ready to renew by the end of December, and 4,000 cosmetology salons. Anybody want to come and work my phone?
Or mine. I've got a lot of calls too.
Or her call. But what happens is, so you renew by that date. Now, 60 days before the expiration date, which would be November 2nd, which would have been this past Sunday, you can start to renew your license. You go in our system, you go through. Once you hit the renew button, it literally takes 5 to 10 minutes. You just go through about 3 screens, go through 2 screens on the bank page, and you're done. I mean, it's pretty quick. I mean, takes you longer to get your account set up. That I will admit is problematic, but that was outside my control. They said for security purposes you have to set up your own account, and that is problematic, I will admit.
That's the Amanda part?
No, that's the part before you get to the Amanda.
Oh,
when
okay.
you get your Iowa ID. Once you get to Amanda and you hit renew, it's pretty good.
Okay.
You know, but you have to create an ID, and the reason is we need to make sure you're connected. It's just you and only you connected to your records. So, but we've made, in the last few months, we've made a lot of improvements on our public portal page, so I think it's gotten a lot smoother. We had a couple bugs in there that we didn't know were there. Now, if you renew after December 31st, you still can practice for 30 days at your license level. And your license will still stay active if you do a public license search. But that's the late period. And you get to donate $60 to us for renewing in the late period. And unfortunately, we've all done it. You know, best laid plans. I recently did it with my truck license. I'm like, it expired, so I had to pay the late fee. You know, it's just part of life. Now, if you renew during that, it's called the grace period, which it's a little misnamed. I don't like grace period because it would imply that you're given extra time, but you're not, because you have to pay a late fee and you're automatically selected for audit. So it's good to renew before the expiry date, so you don't get selected for audit. And then if you do, you know, well, I hope you have all your continuing ed hours, you know, things like that. Now, your profession, you know, there's over 4,000 of you, so you're not likely going to get selected back-to-back renewal periods. It is statistically possible, but like for some of our professions where there's only a couple hundred, you know, we had a board member. She got selected one renewal period, and she randomly got selected the next renewal period, just because out of 203%, you know, she just happened to. I said, "Did you go buy a lottery ticket the second time?" Because I'm like, "What are the odds?" So,
what's the process actually for the initial license?
Okay, for initial licensure, what you'll do is you can go online. I strongly encourage everybody to do it online because you just fill out the boxes. You can go to our website and there will be links back to our page where you can print out and do it traditional hard copy. You send that in with your $120 application fee, which is non-refundable. I always want to remind people of that, so make sure you want to apply for a license. Once we receive your license, our licensing specialist will look at your application. They'll make sure you have everything submitted that you need to. If you don't have something, they will send you a letter saying we still need these items.
And what are those items, Martin?
Typically, it's if you've been licensed in another state, we'll need a license verification from the other state. We'll need a transcript of your education. Especially for bachelor's level, that's pretty much the two main ones. And then once we get, once we do that, and they both online and the online system just puts a notice on their desktop saying that someone's applied, and they do the same process. It's actually a little more easier because they just go and look for the information. And now that is one issue with that you will have to submit is your transcript. You can't electronically attach them. First of all, you can't get them electronically. I've been arguing, since I've been in, the short time I've been in our bureau, I've been arguing with the universities that they should have some kind of electronic transcript that they could send to us, because, I mean, we're getting buried with paper. I mean, it used to be, the rule used to be every time you renewed, you had to provide your continuing ed documents. Think about that. We have 52,000 licensees and all these Con Ed documents. I think we lost staff. I think they just snuck out underneath papers and left and never came back. I mean, it's just too cumbersome. But that is one piece of paper for initial licensure we have to get, is that transcript. And I understand the universities, that's a revenue source for them too. So I understand that side of it too.
Now what about the test scores? How do they get to
the test scores are, our staff get a report that shows the test score.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
yeah, I'm
ASWB or Pearson
Yeah,
sends them to you,
yeah,
right?
she actually goes out on the website and is able to pull those test scores
Okay.
in too. Now, if you, to get approved for the, let's see, for bachelor's, is there anything? For master, like for master level, to sit for the exam, you have to, part of the application process is we approve you to sit. And what we need is we need to make sure you've graduated with a master's level. And then we'll allow you to sit.
Or you're on track.
Or you're on track.
Because you can actually take the test.
You do,
before you
we do
graduate.
have that early provision where, and it happens frequently, is where typically your professors and stuff like that will like say, okay, these folks are on track to graduate on this time. We get a whole list and we just approve the whole list. And then you go to the website and go to the test site. We just have to approve that, so.
So you send a list of the approved folks to ASWB, is that how that works?
Yeah, we actually go on our staff goes on the website and actually approves them right on their website.
Okay, oh, okay.
So then they just go through the testing agency, and the testing agency brings up your name, like, yep, state offices approved them for the exam, so. It's a pretty seamless system, I mean.
It doesn't seem seamless from the consumer side.
I understand
It
that.
seems
I
really like
understand
you've got 3 or 4 different entities you're
Yeah.
dealing with, right? You're dealing with the licensing board, because you have to apply to take the test. You're dealing with your university, or college, because you gotta
Right.
get the transcript so you can get approved to take the test. You gotta sign up with ASWB
Yeah.
to take the test. And then you gotta go to Pearson, you gotta
Pearson,
call Pearson to
Proctor,
schedule
yeah,
the
exactly.
test.
Yeah,
So-
it could be, I'm hoping, you know, I'm always the eternal optimist. I'm hoping in the future we can figure out a way to help streamline this. Now that's gonna require the licensing board and the National Association and the schools kinda, you know, I'm sure there's ways we can improve it, so. But I do admit, I can see where it is. It can
And
be
one
very
helpful
cumbersome.
hint on the testing, I should have told this to the other group. Make sure that your driver's license is current, not within the 30-day grace period you have with your license. Because if it is expired date-wise, Pearson's will not accept it. I had somebody call in with this
Wow.
issue. And so she went to, I don't remember, she wasn't even at her home city. She then found where there was a license station, driver's license station, was able to renew her license that day so that she got, but then she goes back to Pearson's, they've of course canceled, you know, she can't get into her slot. They tell her, if there's a no-show today, we'll get you in today. But if there isn't a no-show, then we're gonna consider you a no-show because you didn't show up for that appointment that you had signed up for. And then they were gonna charge her the fee for, they were just gonna keep her money for taking the test. So that is my one big helpful hint. Take a current license, not within what you think the cops would say.
Yeah, exactly,
The cop would
exactly.
say, oh, yeah, it expired on July 16th, your birthday, but it's good until really August or even August 31st, I think, so you're okay with us. You are not okay with Pearson's on that.
So actually, if anyone is confused, which it is, I think, inherently confusing.
It is.
There's one,
Yeah.
is there a place where there could be, is there, like, all the websites are
No.
listed? I guess we have to do this maybe for our students, perhaps, because you know about this site, which is terrific,
Right.
but there's no links on your
No.
site to
No.
to Pearson's, for
No.
example. Wouldn't that be a nice?
In fact, I think that maybe even
Yeah.
Christine, our current student, volunteered to write an article.
Okay.
And if she didn't, that would be a good little task.
And that would be something that, you know, if we could get those lists, I mean, we have a related links webpage on our
Oh, you
homepage.
do, okay.
And, you know, we could definitely, we could definitely get posted on there. I mean, I think that would be helpful, put a little, say, this is the agency that currently does the testing, since it is very specific, and they are the only contracted entity to do it.
Yeah.
That way,
Right.
I don't have any problem with putting that on there, so I think we have a question.
Can you just go over the steps one more time?
Sure.
Like, just like step by step of what you have to do?
Yep.
And we'll make sure that we can help you through this too.
Yep.
So
It
if
is
anyone
super
getting
good.
freaked
You are
out,
not alone.
you know, these people are wonderful.
Your first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna get our application.
Ours being the Board of
The board,
Social
the
Work.
board of social work, yeah, you can go to this website, you can print out the hard copy of that. you're going to complete the application, then you'll either pay online or you'll send a check or money order. And then, once that's happened, then our staff can authorize you to, once we've received your transcript, then we can approve you or get a letter from your school saying you're on target to graduate. Our staff can approve you eligible to take the exam. Then at that point, we kind of step back. We're in a wait and see at that point. Then at that point, you're going to contact the NASW to get on their website to get set up for the exam, right?
Well, no, you gotta pay to take the exam.
They gotta pay first, yes.
And then, so you pay that, what is it for the BSWs?
I don't know that.
I wanna say that's another $100 or a lot more, yeah. Then you schedule. With Pearson's.
Yes.
Not with ASWB. So ASWB has to tell Pearson's that you are eligible to take the test.
So in other words,
right?
yeah, so in other words, ASWB gets
We'll get this.
they get the fee for the exam fee.
Right.
Then you're eligible. So first, we approve you, say you're eligible to sit for the exam. Then you contact ASWB and you pay for the exam.
Right.
Then you schedule with their contractor, Pearson's, to take the exam. Yes, very convoluted. I'll be the first one to admit that.
Now, and two questions on that, please. Have you ever known of a situation where the employer, let's say somebody's working part-time or full-time, will help with that in order for the employee to be licensed? Okay.
It happens. I don't know how often.
I mean, is it ever? It may be worth exploring.
It'd be worth asking for sure, especially if they know of you, like, if you're in your field practicum and they want to hire you, but they need a licensed social worker, I'd say it's definitely worth asking.
So it's worth asking, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm sorry, please go ahead.
Well, and as far as the check that comes in with the application, if your future employer wants to pay for that, your grandma wants to pay for it, Aunt May wants to pay for it, as long as the check's good, we'll take it, We don't care who pays for it. But she brought up a very good point. We do have instances where the employer, sometimes you have to pay for it up front, they'll reimburse you, but sometimes they have a company credit card and they're willing to pay for it, so.
It's worth trying.
Yeah.
It's worth figuring out.
It's worth asking.
If you're a valued employee somewhere, that might be worth it for them.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Now, who sets up, I assume it's Pearson or ASWB, who sets up the actual places where you can take the exam in the state?
That's Pearson.
That's Pearson.
Okay.
And you go to one of their sites.
Yeah, now, the last I checked, now I took the exam quite a few years ago when I first came to Iowa. I had to go to Cedar Rapids, which isn't next door. Why can't we have a local place?
You would have to lobby Pearson's about that.
Okay.
Yep.
Or ASWB and tell them that we need additional test sites.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Now, I know it's, is it still at Kirkwood Community College? That's where I took it. That was the closest, but that's, in a day, that's a few hours you gotta take out of your day.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And do you know about requirements? It just has to be a secure test center? Why they wouldn't, we just don't have the
Because
population
Pearson
base?
has the contract.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a matter between the ASWB and Pearson's. I have no idea how they do.
And what they do is they have to make sure there's enough volume. Because remember, they're providing, like for example, I know there's a testing site up in Dubuque.
Yeah.
And it's one of the few sites where you can actually go get your pilot's license. There's even fewer sites that do that. So they actually, you go and sit down in front of a computer and then they bring up whichever test you're sitting for. So that it's kind of a need-based. Now, I know for cosmetology, Pearson doesn't have that contract. It's a different entity, but they used to have the contract. When they wanted more sites opened up, they just contacted that entity, and I would contact ASWB because they have the contract with Pearson, and just say, could you consider looking, it would be, and just kind of argue your case that we got some more, there's not enough sites for the number of students we have taking the exam. And they'll consider it. There might be another site someplace else that they're just not offering the exam at that site. They just need to change things.
Okay.
It's got to be secure, and they have a video camera watching you take it.
So what kind of questions are on the test? Like, what is,
I guess, how is it laid out?
It's a multiple choice.
Okay.
It's electronic. You can go to the ASWB website and get some sample questions. That would be the best thing I would recommend for you to do. And then there are different organizations that provide prep materials. We will do a licensure prep course in the spring, and for the bachelor's level, it's a one-day course. It's a two-day course, but the bachelor's level folks come in for Saturday, and then for the MSW students, it's Saturday and Sunday.
And by the way, in our office in 235, we have booklets that you can check out that are samples of the test for both. I didn't mention that to the MSWs, but yeah, they may be a little dated. I don't know how often the exam changes because.
And it will be changing with the new DSM-5.
Yeah, and has it changed already?
No,
Or not
it
yet?
has not.
Okay. Yeah, but do check those out, and I think, I don't know what the grace period is. It's a few days. It must be at least a few days to a week, but, you know, talk to Ann or Debbie about that. If you can buy it, I know, but it's not cheap to buy this study guide. Yeah.
And the one nice thing with that's one thing all of our boards require is that individuals have to pass the national exam. And the thing with the national exam is it's psychometrically tested. So that means it's legally defensible. It's been analyzed. I mean, people, you know, actually my wife is helping develop one for people that do cardiology pacemaker checks. And she says it's harder to write the wrong answers because you can't make it obvious. You know, and so she goes, you got these people that they're psychometricians. Because she tried to upset me by calling and saying, I'm down here with a bunch of psychos. I said, I know who they are. They're trained people, academians. So. But that way, when you pass that, then the board's not going to question it because you've passed the national exam. And it helps when you go to other states, except for California.
Right.
California is the one state that's holding out.
I think they're moving towards
They
that.
have their own state exam, but rumor has it they're succumbing to the pressure to become part of the United States. And so, you know, I don't think that the Great Quake's going to push them off into the ocean anytime soon. But, you know, and I know in talking with the board exec, he's been at national meetings and he says that they're seeing the merit in joining because it improves your portability with other states. Because, for example, if you got licensed here in Iowa and took the national exam and went to California, you'd have to take their state exam and vice versa. So it's hard for you to move there, and so it hurts them, you know, I mean, it's a portability issue. So I know they are looking at that, because I've had people going both ways, and they're like, I had to pay for 2 exams. Sorry.
Yeah, and especially in those towns like the Quad Cities or Council Bluffs or Sioux City, when you are potentially practicing in all 2, 3, 4 states,
Yeah.
if you had to take 2 or 3
Oh,
different tests, that would
be
really
terrible.
stink.
Okay, so if I get my license here, I don't have to take another test when I move to like Colorado, let's say?
No,
Unless you move to California.
Yeah.
typically what they do is, the typical rule of thumb is, if you move to the other state, most states want you to have similar licensure requirements. As long as our licensure requirements are similar to theirs, they would allow you, they would see that, you know, they would just move it over. If it's not, they may have more stringent, they may make you take an extra class or something like that. Sometimes we have to do that too. So.
And so to renew your license, that just consists of continuing education?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And it's every 2 years.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you better move to yours. So.
Yeah, so now I'm Denise Rathman. I am the Executive Director of the National Association of Social Workers, Iowa chapter. So my office is down in Des Moines, and we kind of wanted to go over what the difference, compare and contrast what the 2 organizations do, because sometimes people call my office with questions that are clearly better answered by the licensing board. If it's something really simple, I'll answer it if I know the answer off the top of my head, or I feel like I should learn the answer. I've been at this now for 11 months, so I'm still in a bit of a learning curve. I'm learning stuff from Marvin right now, which is great because it is a licensure renewal year, so I'm getting a lot of phone calls. People have questions, and now I know some more information, and I won't have to bother Marvin and Tony so much anymore with the nitty-gritty questions that I don't know the answer to, because I always want to make sure that people get the right answer. So there are some differences, like I said, between the rules and the responsibilities for the Board of Social Work versus your professional association. Are any of you members of NASW now? All right, great. We've got one. Wait, good example. There's many different benefits to belonging to NASW, and I'll go over some of those. But one of the big differences between the Board of Social Work and the association, NASW, is that the Board of Social Work is in charge of implementing the laws that have been passed by the legislature. And Marvin talked a little bit about that. NASW's role is different. Our job is actually to lobby the legislature to make sure that they produce good rules that impact social workers, and not just social workers, but the clients that we serve and society at large for that matter. And that's not something that the board is going to do. They're not going to do any lobbying and not even really any advocacy work. Maybe if the legislature had questions, they might call Marvin or one of his colleagues to go up and testify and tell them how things are going. But our role is to make sure proactively, if we can, and sometimes defensively too, make sure that that legislature is working for us, because after all, they work for us, and don't ever forget that. That's right. And then another thing that NASW does that definitely the board can't do is we actually support candidates for election, because we feel that in order to get the best and easiest way to get good legislation is to get good legislators elected. And so we do endorsements. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to discuss our endorsements with non-members, but now that the election is passed, maybe we can talk about that a little bit. But what we do is we look at, see who is going to be the best, develop the best social policies for us. Sometimes they're social workers, but we do love to promote social workers who are running for office. So, for example, Mark Smith is the current House Minority Leader at the Iowa State Legislature. He is a social worker and a member. Marty Anderson, who is a social worker out of Des Moines, is just finishing up her first term for the Iowa House, and she ran unopposed actually this past time around.
And one of ours, excuse me, I just had to interject, BA in social work from you and I.
Yes,
So,
yeah, Marty is. Actually, Dave Jacoby from the Iowa City area is also a social worker, but he's not a member, and I need to work on him on that. And then we had my current student, intern, Christine Sherritt ran for office. She ran against an incumbent up in the Ankeny area. Unfortunately, she wasn't successful, but she made a pretty decent showing for a political neophyte, which she definitely was. So we do want to support those people and make sure that we get good people in office, because it just makes all of our jobs a lot easier if we can do that. As Marvin went over, the board grants the actual license. That NASW doesn't have anything to do with the actual license. You know, people call me up and they say, and my license number is, but I don't care what your license number is, unless we're doing continuing education program. Then we jot that down on people when people sign out. And they outline the actual educational requirements for that continuing education. So then NASW's job is to actually create educational opportunities that meet those requirements, so that you know when you take a course from NASW for CEUs that the board is going to recognize that as a legitimate course for your licensure renewal period. And then we also do approvals of other organizations. In fact, we've done CEU approvals for the University of Northern Iowa, so that when you have your big conference, then we are the ones who actually issue the certificate that goes with that. And that is actually listed in the administrative rules, that NASW, as well as the Association of Social Work Boards courses are acceptable, along with a whole bunch of other different criteria that you could potentially meet in order to have a board-approved CEU class. We did talk a little bit about the Code of Ethics and the different aspects of that. The Board of Social Work has rules of conduct, and as Marvin said, they're not quite as stringent as the NASW Code of Ethics. And the NASW Code of Ethics is just more comprehensive. Really, the rules of conduct are more about how professionals relate with their clients. But the Code of Ethics goes way deeper than that. It's not just about how you relate with your clients, but also your responsibilities to your colleagues, your responsibilities in a practice setting, so your responsibilities to the agency that you work for, your responsibilities to the profession itself, and also your responsibilities to broader society. We're one of the few professions that actually has within our Code of Ethics that we should be participating in social and political action, for example. That is a part of our Code of Ethics. That applies only to NASW members. So if you were behaving badly, or someone perceived that you were behaving badly, and you were not a member of NASW, there's nothing that NASW could do for that. And it's the same with the board. If you're not a licensed social worker, the board really can't do anything except, you know, send you a letter and send a copy of it to the county attorney, and then if it's particularly egregious, the county attorney would take care of it. Okay. That's something I learned today. I didn't know what happened to those folks. And our code of ethics is based on 6 principles: on service, social justice, the dignity and worth of the person, the importance of human relationships, integrity, and competence. And that's where that continuing education comes in. And to me, that really lays the groundwork for all of the work that our entire association does. Those are the principles that we look at when we are developing not only our social policies at the national level. This is a book that is National creates. Have you guys used this at all in a social policy class? 64 different policy statements in here talking about what our association believes, how our association, what social policies our association supports. And then we build on that at the state level with our public policy priorities. And these are all available online. We're going over those right now. And we revise those every 2 years, so with each General Assembly. But they all go back to these 6 ethical principles that our Code of Ethics is based on. And that's really, to me, gives us tells us what our association is all about. And then the enforcement of the Code of Ethics for NASW, it happens both at the national level as well as the local level. We've got an Office of Ethics and Professional Review at our national office, and they provide technical assistance to us as if we have any complaints within our state. And there are different roles where volunteers who are members of the association step in and help out with those. So the first step is this complaint even really an ethical complaint, or is it just a complaint that somebody was not acting professionally? You could act unprofessionally, but it might not be exactly unethical. And so they kind of sort that out first to see if any complaints then require further action. And that further action would be either mediation or what they call adjudication, so an actual hearing. And so our mediators are NASW volunteers who are NASW members. So they're social workers, they're trained mediators, and then they also get trained as NASW mediators. We have a chapter representative who ensures that the chapters and the association's interests are protected during this process. And then if there's any corrective action that comes out of the mediation or the adjudication, we've got a monitor who ensures that that corrective action is actually taken. It might be taking classes, it might be, if it's like, say, a case of substance abuse, making sure the person's getting treatment, whatever those outline is, then make sure that the respondent, the person who the complaint was filed against, is actually complying with those corrective actions that are suggested. Our national office also provides other benefits to members. One is professional development, so they do have online CEUs available. We have a big national conference every year out in Washington, D.C. They also have different credentials, so if you're particularly interested in some specific subset of social work, then you can get credentialed in that particular area, like school social work, for example. And they also have different sections, so you can join those sections. It's a little bit more expensive, but you get additional information for that. Some of the communications that we provide are a 4-time-a-year newsletter. The national office has what we call NASW News. That's a monthly newsletter with the exceptions, I think it's of August and December. Maybe it's actually in January where we don't get one of those. The Iowa chapter provides some email management. I mean, usually my email inbox is just full of all this different stuff that's going on across the state that everybody wants everybody to know about, right? Well, I want to make sure that our members really have the information about the association and what we know, is, I hate to say put a higher value on, but we want to make sure that you're reading the emails that we actually send out, so we don't forward just anything to you. And because of that, we've got a pretty high email open rate that we're pretty proud of. We've got about 50% of our emails that we send out are open. So we really try to make sure that it's good stuff like continuing education opportunities, job listings, that sort of thing. And those emails only go out to members. you can get that information on our website as a non-member, but members get the emails so that you get a heads up that that information is out there. One of the big benefits is legal services. Our Office of General Counsel at the national level provides legal consultation to folks. If you ever had a situation where you thought that maybe it was time for you to get a lawyer, but you really weren't quite sure, you can call and have a legal consultation, talk to one of the lawyers at our national office, and then determine what your best next steps would be. Member services at the national level, that's more like the nitty-gritty. Okay, I got to call and get my renewal, or I want to get signed up, or I'm having a problem with my password, you know, all stuff that needs to be done. Whereas at the state level, it's more about the state-specific things that we're doing here. You know, when people call the office, they want to know, okay, where is that CEU program happening again? Right now, it's all about CEUs because it is a licensure renewal year. Oh my God, I just realized that I need 17 CEUs, I think was the call I had yesterday. Well, how am I going to get those? Well, you know what, we actually had a pathway to 17 CEUs, or close to it, so that we was glad that we had that available. Ooh, yeah. Oh, I probably shouldn't be telling you this one. No, as long as they get it done, it's all right. No names.
As long as they're done, I don't care.
Yeah. You don't care if they get the CEUs done on December 15th, as long as they're done. Okay.
As long as they're done before the renewal date.
Yeah. And then another great benefit at the national office is that we do have a Center for Workforce Studies and Social Work Practice. And so we've got, I think actually it's 5 staff people. I think we just got a notice that somebody resigned. But 6 different, and it's women, I mean that's what it is, 6 different women work at our national office on these different practice areas. So if you were really looking for information, we've got a pretty robust national website that has a lot of information on it, but if you needed to dig a little bit deeper on a particular topic, you could call one of the staff people and they can really help you figure out, you know, like right now what's of interest to people is maybe how I do my billing with this, you know, with the new Medicaid expansion. That's actually probably more of a state level question. Or, you know, when do I have to start using the DSM-5 for my insurance purposes? You know, any kind of question like that, we can refer you to people who are clinical experts. Because I'm not a clinical social worker. I never have been. But I know people who are, and that's one of the beauties of being in this job is that I get to know a lot of people and a lot of content experts. We do have some opportunities for student engagement and volunteer opportunities. 2 positions on the board are reserved for students. We'd love to have you apply for our election, which is coming up in the spring. That's a 1-year term, and we do reserve 1 seat on our board for BSWs. You can attend the branch events, the Northeast branch events. A lot of them take place right here in your metro, the Waterloo, Cedar Falls area, so watch for those events that are coming up. It's a good opportunity to learn about new practices and to network. So if you're out there looking for jobs, it's a great place to meet some new people. We do take student applications for our symposium in April, so if you're working on something really cool and you want to get the word out to other social workers, it's a great avenue to do that. We've got plenty of committee work that you could volunteer for. We have our lobby day. Do you guys bring BSWs to lobby day? So you could do that.
Yep.
Yeah, and then again, we do have that NASW chapter field placement. So I can only take 1 student at a time, so it kind of depends on who gets the position and when I have openings, but definitely would be willing to talk to anybody about that. Well, we've been here for an hour. Any questions?
It's a lot of information, isn't it?
It is a lot of information.
I wanted to thank you both very much. Could we get the, before you turn it off, could we get the applause?